All right, everybody. Raul Luna here, founder of English.rauluna.com. Hopefully you're already connected here with me. Welcome Instagram, welcome Facebook, welcome YouTube. Hey, listen, I just got home and I wanted to share something super cool. I'm actually cut from here. So welcome everybody, all right? Welcome. I see several of you guys. I see Mr. Juan Carlos. I see Steven. I see Jose. Welcome everybody. I got something really cool and special that I want to share with you. So I'm just going to dive right to the point. Today, I was meeting, my general contractor in our 56 unit building. Since I was giving him a contract, a very sizable contract. We got one of the buildings out of the 14 buildings that we have in one property burned down, and the insurance company, basically just wrote us a check, few days ago. So I wanted to, get together with him, and I'm going to share with you exactly what we spoke while we were actually going through the scope of work. Before I actually give you what I got, here special for you, I got what's coming next. What's coming next in real estate? What's next in real estate? And I want to go ahead and basically, take the moment on sharing, the things that I think that are coming next. Now, hopefully we don't see the biggest collapse ever, as I believe it's going to happen, and hopefully I'm completely wrong. But make sure that you're ready. Make sure that you're preparing yourself. So let me go back to the story. I was with a general contractor, and there's a reason why I'm sharing it, because I told him, he asked me, Raul, what is it that you're doing? How are you preparing yourself? And I said, well, I'm doing a few things, that typically I've been in 2 other recessions. This is going to be my 3rd one. So, obviously this one is not the same as the previous ones. And usually every recession comes in a very slightly different way. And, one thing I did knew about this one that we're in right now, or that I feel that we're in, I knew that it wasn't going to come exactly the same way that it was going to be the last one. That was easy to pinpoint. All right. Now, I don't have a crystal ball. So, but I'm going to tell you obviously what I believe in, and basically share below what you think it's going to do. And, so go ahead and, let's do something. Go ahead and share now. What is your opinion about what's coming next in real estate? Go ahead and do it now. So that way, you're not basically waiting for my response. But let me go back to the story. I was telling the general contractor, I was saying, you know what, Manny, one of the things that I want you to know is that let's take 2 scenarios here. Let's assume, what if for a moment, what if after the shelter, stay at home, is finished and everybody is able to go out, what if after the lockdown gets done and the coronavirus gets controlled and everything goes back to a normal life? What if, the real estate just continues to go up and up and up and just skyrocket? Let's just think for a moment that could happen. And what if that would happen? Imagine why it could happen. Well, the interest rates are, extremely low. The government can, continue to even go negative, and the banks can, go to basically zero, as is going to happen. I'll tell you a few things that I believe it's going to happen, and I can see already happening here in the very near future. So anyways, I told them, what if the real estate just goes skyrocket? I said, wouldn't you want to have the foot completely pressed on the gas pedal? Wouldn't you want to be at 10x action levels? Wouldn't you want to be prepared by already, making the connections, the contacts, the resources, basically, making the offers, being in action? Wouldn't you want to be ready and prepared for it? Now, let's take the other side. What if doesn't go sky high? What if it goes down below? What if just crashes like never before? What if that happens? For a moment, think about it. Wouldn't you have been happy and grateful that you had your foot completely pressed on the gas pedal? Wouldn't you want to be 10x in 10x levels or 10x action levels? Wouldn't you want, so regardless of if it goes up or down, wouldn't you want to be in engagement mode? One of the biggest mistakes that I know for sure that many people are going to make is probably, being idle mode, being relaxed, lay back, and just kind of getting your habitual, a week is going to go by, 2 weeks is going to go by, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Maybe they'll extend it. They'll say, let's give them another month. And then I'll tell you one thing. When you do something, when you do one thing for 21 days or more, it becomes a habit. What if someone is trying to make us program in our brain that it's okay to be entitled? It's okay to be settled, that it's okay to be average, that it's okay. What if somebody, and I don't know who that somebody is, what if? So do you see why I told my GC, doesn't matter if the real estate goes up or goes down. What it matters is what I'm able to control. Because I can control myself, I'm willing to control the way I think, the way I feel, the way I act, the way I want to have the pedal, the foot on the gas pedal. I decided that I'm full in, full in, full in. Doesn't mean I'm going to cut corners. I drink a lot of tea. There was a friend of mine that, called me up today and says, hey, Raul, make sure that you're taking care of yourself, all right? Stay healthy. I said, hey, listen, being healthy and staying healthy was my lifestyle already. I'm not bragging about it. My wife, it's a clean freak by having sanitizers all over the freaking house. And, she puts me clean sanitizers on my freaking pants, on my bag, like, Clorox wipes. Is like before all this mess happened, we were already like that. When it was already a lifestyle, not a whole lot has to change. Now, I'm not saying that we're not taking extra precautions. Of course we are. But I wanted to share that story because, I want you to understand one thing. I'm going to show you something that I just drew because I just showed this. I showed this to my, to my Spanish community. I said about 3 years ago, if you realize what happened in 20, I've been in 3 recessions now with this one. Now, people may want to believe that we're not in a recession. Trust me, we are. If we don't want to accept it, it's okay. That's fine. You don't have to. But the reality is that we're in it. In 2001, okay, 2008, and now coming to 2020. Guess what? If you actually notice, 2001, it was because of the Twin Towers coming down. Guess what? The government lowered their interest rates down to near zero. And guess what? Inflated the market, artificially inflated it to levels that has never been before. And guess what happened? Bam, almost 50% on 2008. That's when I lost my shirt, my socks, my hair, my clothes, you name it. I lost properties. It was freaking embarrassing that I had to go back to unemployment, collecting food stamps. And it was embarrassing. I got to admit it that it was freaking embarrassing. But after being in 2 recessions, I had to learn something. Now, this recession is a little bit different. It's coming from the health side, and then it will become, starting with an epidemic health-wise, but it's going to become an economic epidemic, pretty soon if this doesn't get, contained. So guess what happened? I was telling, several people in closed rooms, and now today I'm making it public, but I was saying, listen, we should have already experienced in 2017 the recession, but they held it 2018, they held it 2019, they held it 2020. We're here in 2020, ladies and gentlemen. We had what a heck of a ride of almost 12 years of a ride since 2008, and we're here 2020. Then the coronavirus happens. It's like it was like a double bubble, like a double bubble bursting all at the same time. And the effect is going to just be that much bigger, that much massive. And interesting, you could see the reaction that the government is taking on pumping money like freaking crazy. And we could end up going into hyperinflation here, and many other things, that we're not thinking out there. We see that they're trying to help, but their help, not all help is created equal. Not all help, it's good help. Okay, so anyways, so guess what? 2017 was around here, but they let it go, they let it go, they let it go, they let it go. And now the next collapse is going to be bigger than 2008. At least that's my opinion. I could be wrong. I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that I'm wrong. But listen to this. Every future recession, just get used to that it's always going to be bigger than the previous one. Because the bigger the market goes, the bigger the collapse is going to be. It's just normal. For instance, I'll give you an example. Stock market, it was a 29,000, right? Right now it's hovering around 20,000. Don't get surprised if it goes to 14,000 where it was. Go back to history and you notice that we're in the biggest bubble in history of America. And guess why? Because we've been at all-time high, at all times high for almost freaking ever. 12 years of great, of a rising economy. It's a long time. But see, oftentimes we don't see that, right? So anyways, let me share what I think what's next with real estate, all right? I'm going to share this and then we're going to go ahead and end it. But leave me a message down below. Go ahead and share these videos with others. Follow me in the different social medias. I'm going to be, social media channels. I'm going to be sharing a lot of information. And you know what? Take it for what it is. I lost over $20 million in 2008. I literally went to basically to the streets, lost cars, lost everything. I'm so glad that I didn't lost my family, my dreams, my health, my well-being. But other than that, lost it all. Maybe you can learn something from it, get prepared, and just thrive in challenging times. And that's really why I'm doing what I'm doing. I want you to thrive in challenging times, but do not retract. Do not retract. Do not retract, because I believe you're going to regret it sooner or later. So what's next for real estate? Well, there's five channels that I believe they're going to become very popular. So, Airbnb, if you study the people that are in Airbnb, they're suffering right now because they either bought a property to Airbnb it, or they leased the property. They put it on a lease so that they can rent it on a short-term rental program. And guess what happens when now that we're in a lockdown? No, no people traveling, no nurses, no other people, doing the short-term rental thing, right? Well, guess what? If I were you, you can just literally, pinpoint who the owners of those properties are, because those are the ones that are going to be motivated to sell here really soon. Right. Second thing, auctions. I think auctions it's going to start picking up again, and it's something that you want to have in your head and maybe even study a little bit more about it. Number 3, foreclosures. Foreclosures is going to be on the rise. Now, this is not going to happen overnight, ladies and gentlemen. It's not going to happen like, right after the lockdown ends, now all of this is going to happen. No. It could be anywhere in the next 4 to 8 months. Listen, real estate has a retarding period, for lack of a better word. Maybe it's not the best word, but it's got like a lagging period. We don't feel it yet, but it's got that lagging period. And guess what? Foreclosures are going to be on the rise. So that's going to be a great channel for maybe you sending direct mail, or maybe getting a list and door knocking and things like that. Number 4, subject twos. For the people that don't know what subject two is buying property subject to the existing loan remaining in place. Now, there's risks to it. There's certain risks that you need to understand. I'm not going to share the whole thing here because that's not the goal, but just be aware the subject to is going to be on the rise. It's a great strategy. I bought quite a bit of properties in the last recession using subject twos. And one of the risks is that if the lender finds out that there's a new buyer, they could call the loan. Now, in crisis, in moments of crisis or turbulent times, lenders are not going to call loans. That's the least thing that they want to do, unless they're over flooded with government money. In this case, then they may. But subject to is a way to just take over payments, basically. Okay, and it's a cool one because it's a great way to obviously buy properties. That's how I bought basically my kid's home. That's how I bought it. I bought it subject to, and until today, I still have it subject to. Can you imagine? Almost 11 years subject to, and it's interesting, right? Bought it for what I think it was 60,000 or 72,000. Today is probably worth 300,000, whatever it is. But anyways, short sales are going to become popular back again. And short sales, for the people that don't know, is when you owe more than the property is worth. So my advice would be get together with a real estate agent that specializes on short sales, because the time will come. Now, once again, this is where I think it's going next. So I'm not saying this is happening right this second, right this moment. This is where I believe it's going next. We haven't seen the whole picture yet, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to scare you. I'm here to give you hope on get ready, get prepared. You don't have the money. Well, connect with people that do have the money. Well, Raul, but we can go out. Heck with it. Get the freaking phone. Get the phone. Look, even my phone, it's just the cell phone cover, and I can even make phone calls with this thing, right? Anyways, get the phone, hop on a webinar, do whatever it takes. Nothing should be stopping you. Nothing should be stopping you. I'll tell you this much. I don't even know if the government wants to just, build an empire of people just thinking that, let's put them to do not a whole lot. I don't know. But one thing I'm certain, I'm not going to worry for what I cannot control. I'm going to focus in what I know I can control. And what I can control is the way I think, feel, and act, believe. So therefore, you have it there. In short, in a short summary, this is where I think it's real estate is headed. I think it's going to go down. We'll see. If it goes up, doesn't matter. We're ready, and that's where you want to be. If it goes up, be ready. If it goes down, be ready. One thing that I will tell you that I think it's going to happen. Right? Let's see the great things about this. I believe banks and we'll see, time will tell. I believe banks will start offering business loans, even real estate loans, at zero interest. Not yet. Maybe we don't see it this right moment, but it will go that direction. In 2008, I remember when the car dealers were literally from, not overnight, but when they completely stopped making sales, they went to zero interest rate. And today there's even some dealerships that they still do it. Well, with real estate and some of the business loans, I think that's what's going to happen. That's where we're headed. And many other things. There's going to be a ton of help from the government. But just because the government is helping, it's okay. When it's needed, it's needed. When it's needed, listen to this. When it's needed, is needed. Back in 2008, I needed it. I needed it, and I took it. I took unemployment, and I took some food stamps. And guess what? This time, I hope that I don't have to use it again, so that somebody else gets to use it that is in true need. But be ready, man. Be ready, gals and guys. Be ready. And be ready by you taking the proper action, by you developing the proper mindset, all right? Okay, to all of my fellows, big hugs, stay healthy, drink a lot of tea. One of the things that I do, in the mornings, I drink 2 glasses of water with lemon. I carry lemon with me because I use it as a sanitizer as well, and get some vitamins. But you know what? You got to be healthy in your body, but you also got to be healthy in your brain, and you got to be healthy in your finances as well, right? And this is what we're talking here about. So go ahead and make it happen. And remember, you're one freaking awesome real estate deal away from changing your financial landscape. All right. See you soon. Thank you.